Guys, we've obviously had a massive drop in Bitcoin the last 2 days. And now that it's Sunday, I want to talk about what I think might happen tomorrow, the week starting tomorrow on Monday. Now, one thing to point out is that we have a CME gap, right? The CME gap is a gap in price which is formed over the weekend, just as a quick recap. So here you can see this is Friday and this is Monday. So on this chart, we do not see the change in price over the weekend because Bitcoin is traded 7 days, while the traditional financial markets is traded for 5 days. The price difference that Bitcoin makes over the weekend, over Saturday and Sunday, if there's a jump, for example, here, Friday, Bitcoin closed at 110,000 and on Monday, Bitcoin was at 111,000. And this price difference, which is created over the weekend, is most likely always filled. It's always filled in the coming few days after the market opens again. And I can show this to you here. I mean, we had a difference here obviously forming. It was filled in a couple of days. We had a difference here. You can see the gap and you can see it was filled like a week after around this level. And we can pretty much look at any gap in the market and it's usually always filled, right? We have a gap here, obviously it's filled immediately. And what do these gaps mean? Well, this is an indication where Bitcoin's price might go, right? And the gap is around $110,000 to $111,000, where I think Bitcoin will be trading on Monday. Now, the reason you can only see 116.9 thousand on this chart is because the chart just freezes on Friday. But if we look at Bitcoin's current price, we can see that we have, in theory, already filled that gap, but we filled it on the weekend. We have not filled it on Monday. So basically what I think will happen tomorrow on Monday, we're not gonna go much higher. We're gonna stay on these levels, potentially go down a bit more to the lower level here at 110,500, trade around this level, fill the gap and then go higher. Now, what could also happen, what I don't think is realistic, is we have a CME gap actually which has not been filled since 170 days, right? Over half a year. And this CME gap is right here. It's about $91,000 to $92,000 per Bitcoin, which CME gaps don't always get filled, but they tend to get filled eventually, but not necessarily immediately. Like here, we went up, right? The price just went higher, so we didn't fill it immediately. But what I think could happen is we eventually come down to this price once the bear market starts, maybe end of the year, beginning of next year. And then we will most definitely fill this gap at around 92,000 eventually. But like I said, once Bitcoin tomorrow, the markets open again, I think Bitcoin will trade around this level here, potentially go down, fill the 110,000 gap before we go higher. And yeah, obviously we're trading in this major ascending wedge here, if I zoom out a bit. And yeah, I think we could retest the bottom before and we keep going higher. Now, obviously the liquidation event was very brutal, but there were some winners on there. And many people are talking about the insider traders who opened their shorts, the major shorts on Bitcoin and Ethereum just 30 minutes before Trump's announcement. And here you can see screenshots of some people who made $100 million in profit just by opening these massive short positions. And it clearly shows that it's a rigged game, right? There's people who have information, like in any market, there's people with insider information. And no one could have known that we're gonna have this tweet unless you have some direct connections with Trump. Talking quickly about Ethereum though, I think Ethereum is a massive good time to invest. It's gonna go up greatly in the next few weeks and months coming up. Now we have this massive descending triangle here. I'm on the weekly chart. And if we just take this line, we take the target from the top to the bottom here, and we take it to the end, we can see approximately, this is just very broad technical analysis, a target of around $7,800. On top of this, if we look at this triangle, we can also see that Ethereum is bouncing on the top side of the support line, right? So we've been bouncing up and down within this triangle, and now we've managed to go on top, and I think we're gonna bounce from here and then create higher highs. So definitely a good time to buy Ethereum. Also, it's a good time to buy Solana, in my opinion. All of these large altcoins are obviously on a discount right now, thanks to the tariffs and thanks to the dump. Yes, I say thanks to it because I believe these coins are gonna go higher long term. So a good buying opportunity. I don't want you guys to be buying at these high levels here, right? Why would you buy here and then not buy here? If you're convinced in the project, then what is holding you back from buying at low levels? Why would you buy at a high price if you can get the same thing at a lower price, right? And if you don't buy at a lower price, then there's something wrong. Then your mind is tricking you. So definitely try and be smart about it. If you can get something at a discount, do it. And the reason I'm saying it's a good entry here, because we can obviously see we have this support line, this going up support line, right? We've bounced from here, we've bounced, and now we're again at the lower levels from where I think we can bounce higher from. And with that being said, that's all for today. Thanks for the new subscribers. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.